So for this pattern, you'll need DK weight yarn. You'll need regular DK as well as a Suri DK. I'm using this beautiful yarn from Sunshine Queen Fiber Arts. This is the color Violin String on Rapunzel DK, and this is Master of Tides on Nala Suri DK. And the Suri DK really is a lot thicker than normal Suri, so it's important that we're using this stuff. For my hook, I'm using an 8mm Tunisian crochet hook with a cord and stopper. Now, you don't have to put the cable on initially, but you can always add it in later. So to begin, we're going to start with our solid color with the gray, and we're going to be working this from the bottom up. So I'm going to go ahead and make my slip knot, and then once I do this, I'm going to put my hook in, and we're going to chain 2. 1 and 2. Now, normally in Tunisian crochet, when we turn our work, this loop counts for the first chain, but we're going to start our increases right away. And so into that first loop from the hook, I'm going to go ahead and pick up a loop. So in the first chain from the hook, and then in the second chain from the hook, I'm going to do the same. So I've already started my increases, and I should have 3 loops on my hook. Now I'm going to do my return pass. And with this pattern, you're going to be doing increases, 2 increases every row. So we're going to start that right now by going in for a full stitch, and this is the only place you're going to be doing a full stitch in this pattern. Then we're going to go in for a knit stitch, right like that. Then we're going to go back in for a full stitch. And then we're going to go do our last Tunisian stitch. So look for those 2 at the end there, yarn over and pull up a loop. So we've increased by 2, so now we have 5 loops on our hook. And we're going to just go ahead and continue just like that. So now it gets a little bit interesting with what we're doing. We're going to change things up just a little bit. So our first and last stitch are always going to be an increase, and the increase is going to be a purl stitch. So to do a purl stitch, we're going to bring the yarn to the front, go into the loop, let the yarn go back, yarn over and pull up a loop. And in the same stitch, we're going to do a knit stitch. So going between those back and front vertical bars. Now we're actually going to introduce our Suri. So grab your Suri, and this is a colorwork pattern, and I will show you the diagram on how this works. But just to get started, we're going to go ahead and go in for a knit stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop. Then we're going to go ahead and drop the Suri. I'm going to move that on that side because I don't want them to get tangled. It is, having separate containers for your yarn, but keeping an eye will help on keeping an eye when you change your colors, just to make sure that you're not getting these tangled is going to help. And then we're at our second to last stitch. So here we're going to do that increase again, but we're going to do the opposite of what we did here. So we're going to go in first for a knit, then we're going to bring the yarn forward and do a purl, just like that. Then we're going to do our last Tunisian stitch. And now we have 7 loops on our hook. As we do our return pass, we're always going to do the return pass for the color of the stitch. So those 3 are in the gray. Then I'll go ahead and pick up my Suri just for 1, just like that. Then I'll drop my Suri, pick up my gray, and keep going. And it seems like that's going to make this pattern long, but this pattern works up really, really quickly. So now we're going to do row 2, and our Suri is going to work up in diamonds, and I'll show you that in just a second. Let me show you one more row. So again, for this, we're going to do the first stitch. We're going to do our increase, purl, knit into the same stitch. Now we're going to drop the gray, and we're going to go straight to the Suri. Let me get a little bit extra Suri, make sure I have enough here. And in the next 3 stitches, I'm going to go ahead and do 3 knit stitches in the Suri. 1, 2, I think I actually caught the Suri. I caught the next stitch by accident. So let me make sure I'm doing this properly. Knit, then a knit, and then another knit. So we're doing 3 knit stitches just like that. Then we're going to drop our Suri and we're going to go to our regular DK. And then remember, this is the opposite, so we're going to do a knit and a purl, just like that. Then we're going to do our last Tunisian stitch, and then we're going to do our return pass. Now for the return pass, remember, you're going to match your return pass stitches with whatever the yarn is that's on the loop. So now this one, I'm going to do 3 return passes, just like that. And then we're going to drop this and we're going to carry the gray yarn over. Now it's really important that when we're carrying the yarn over that we make sure it stays nice and loose. You are going to have, and I'll show you guys, you are going to have yarn in the back, but because of the style, you're not going to see it. So that's it. And so you'll see that carryover right there, and that's going to happen with both the regular yarn and the Suri. So I'm going to come back with a couple of things to show you a little bit about this pattern so you can understand how it's working out. So before we begin, let me show you a little bit about the basics of this pattern. Every little box here is a stitch, and what this is going to tell us is it's going to tell us when we change over to the Suri. So these white diamonds in the center are going to be our Suri stitches. Now what this diagram doesn't show is the increases and the decreases, but as you're going, the stitch count will be correct, and I'll show you how this. Now the pattern will have a bigger diagram to take you through all the steps. So here's a little swatch to show you kind of what we're going to be doing as we go through this pattern. Now it's super important that your Suri and your regular yarn are contrasting, otherwise the diamonds aren't going to show up. And we are going to be carrying our yarn, so you will see on the back of the pattern you're going to be seeing the yarn being carried over like this. What that's going to do is it actually makes the fabric a little bit thicker, which is why we're using such a big hook, but it's going to make this really cozy and snug for the winter. So I've kept going with the pattern, and you can see how I have the Suri here and the regular yarn around, and we've gotten to a point for this cowl where the pattern is wide enough. So what we're going to do now is do a little bit of decreases, and then what we're going to do is we're going to do after we do our decreases, we're going to go ahead and just work straight up to get the neck of the cowl. So to do the decreases, it's going to be pretty straightforward. We've been doing a Tunisian purl stitch, then a Tunisian knit stitch, and then continuing along. And instead what we're going to do is a Tunisian purl stitch 2 together to kind of keep that border going. So you can see what I did. I brought the yarn to the front and I went through 2, yarn over, just like that. Then I'm going to go ahead and go into that stitch just like that. And then I'm also going to go into the next stitch because this is we're at the 5 row, so we're going to go down to the 3. Then I'm going to go ahead and I'm holding my yarn back here, my Suri, do my 3 knit stitches of Suri, and then I'm going to go ahead and do my regular pattern all the way across. So we're going to do that. When we get to the other end, I'll show you what we're going to be doing to do the decreases on the other side, but continue the pattern as is. That's a little trick that I have just to hold this yarn here. It makes it really, really easy as opposed to dropping the main color and then picking up the Suri. So I'm going to do that all the way across, and then I'll show you how to do the decrease, and then we'll do decreases for several rows, and then we'll start working straight up on the pattern. As you work this pattern, you may also notice the yarn that you're carrying over coming to the front, but the nature of the knit stitch will actually go ahead and push it to the back all the way. So you see here, I don't even need to grab that. I'm just going to go ahead and grab my knit stitch and keep going with the Suri for my 3 stitches, switch to my main color, and that carryover yarn just gets pushed to the back. So you don't even see it anymore. So if you're seeing those carryovers when you're working, don't worry, they're all going to get hidden back here. So I'm here at the other end, and I'm going to go ahead and show you how to do the decreases. It's going to be basically the same as what we did over there. So I'm going to wait till I have 3 stitches left, just like this. Then we're going to do, just like we did over there, a purl stitch 2 together. I'm going to bring the yarn to the front, grab both together, and then last Tunisian stitch. And then that's it. Then I'll do my return pass, and we're going to do this for several rows. You're going to see, well, actually what we're going to do is eventually take this diamond, it'll be part of the decreases, so the decreases will come up here, and then they'll go straight up. So that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to kind of, where this diamond is will be gone, and the angle will come up, as you'll see from the decreases as you start to work them. All right, I'm going to keep working on this, and then I'll meet you back to show you the next steps. So I finished most of the pattern, and I'm here to show you how to do the bind off row and to talk a little bit about the steps in between. So after we did our decreases, we reached a point where we didn't want the cowl to get any smaller, so we just went straight up, and I always did a purl stitch as the first stitch of the row and as the second to last stitch of the row. So you'll see that row of purl stitches. Then when we got to the second to last row here, I did not start the new diamond. So normally, remember, you can see we always started a new diamond. I skipped it and just finished the diamond up for that second to last row. So normally there would be a thing of Suri in this row. We skipped it. And that's because we don't want to start any more new diamonds. Next, what we did after that is I went back after my return pass and just did a row of knit stitches. And so what that's going to do is it's going to give us a little bit of a border on the top for the knit stitches, and we're going to do our bind off right now. So I'm here, and you can fasten off the Suri now. We don't need it anymore. Here what we're going to do is just do my last return pass, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into every stitch as for a knit stitch and then pull that through the loop on the hook. And what we're doing here is we're just doing a knit stitch bind off, and that's going to give us a nice little chain appearance at the top as a pretty little border, just like that. And you can kind of see how that border is right there. So I'm going to go ahead and finish this off. Then what we're going to do is we're going to come back. So I'm going to leave a length of yarn 2 to 3 times the length of this edge here, and I'm going to meet you back and show you how we're going to do our seaming. So I finished my knit stitch bind off, and you can see what a pretty little border that makes. And I have my length of yarn here. I'm going to go ahead and thread my needle through, just like that. And then we're going to bring our two edges together. And I like to work, we'll flip this over. I like to work on, you can work either on the wrong side or the right side. There is no right or wrong answer on this, but I'm just gonna work on the wrong side. Ideally now too, you would block this before you start the seaming, but I wanna show you at least the beginning of the seaming, and then I'll probably undo this, block it, and then go ahead and seam it back up again. So I'm gonna go through here, both edges, just like that, to bring the two edges together. And I like to go through twice. This is just a me thing. I like to make sure that that first knot is really nice. And then we're gonna do a mattress stitch. And so for the mattress stitch, you wanna find your little, almost looks like chains here. I'm gonna go through that one side, then I'm gonna match it on the other side, go through the same one on the other side, just like that, and bring those close. Then let's go back on this side, and we're gonna go through the one we came out of, go back into that side, and do the same thing here. And I'll bring these close together so you can kind of see. Go through, and then go through, just like that, and go through, just like that. I'm going to pull all that yarn through like that. We don't want to pull it too snug because we want these, we don't want it to be pinched together, but we do want it to have some, we want it to be nice and tight so it doesn't gape through when you, after you block it. Go and keep going through. Whoops. My needle came off, and I think that's where we're going to stop. So I'm just going to show you what this looks like on the other side. Make sure you pull that nice and tight. So it has a nice clean edge here. So I'm going to go ahead and finish doing this, or actually I'm going to undo this, I'm going to block it, and then I'm going to reseam, and then I'll show you the final product. So here's the final product for this cowl. You can see how it works up really nicely. Now I've worn it a few times and you can see the Suri is getting a little bit fuzzy, but that's pretty normal. Here's the seamed back. It did stretch out a little bit, which is why it's so important to try to make that balance between not too tight and not too loose. But I have worn it quite a bit and it's so cozy. So one of the things to think about when you're making this is that pick two colors that are going to be high contrast so you can really see the difference. If you pick the same thing, you're going to have great texture but not that pop. The other thing to think about is that this is made with DK weight yarn, but because of the floats that are happening, this is going to be extra warm and snuggly, so it's perfect as a great layering piece. I hope you really enjoyed this pattern. This is so cozy and I can't wait to see which ones you make. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and please do subscribe. It helps to grow the channel. Thanks and happy crocheting!